we go. All right, guys, welcome on in. This is a quick Crown Jewel 2024 review. Off the top of your head, Rayman, out of 10, what would you give the show?
I'd definitely give it probably about a 7.5 to an 8.
I agree with that.
It had its like bangers of moments. There was other moments where I felt like it did fall a little bit short.
Dragged a little bit
yeah,
too,
yeah, good call. Yeah, dragged a little bit too. But all in all, great show. If you guys haven't seen it, go back and watch it because it is really, really good.
Yep. We're going to keep it sub 10 minutes this one. We're just going to sort of go through the list of the show and sort of give some thoughts, each of us, on each match. We'll start with the opening match, which was a six-man tag between the old bloodline and the new bloodline. Solo Sikoa pinning Roman Reigns. What did you think?
That was a big one. In my eyes, that's a lot for his resume, so to speak. So Solo's got that now over Roman to sort of say, I have now pinned you. Yep. Huge, because not many people have actually pinned Roman in the last couple of years. Obviously, Cody, I think Jay pinned him in the tag team that they're up against, and now Solo. So that's a lot to add onto your resume, which is really, really good. The match in itself was good. It was a good match. I did like the little things that Jay and Roman once did at one stage there.
Didn't quite like agree eye to eye. Like Jay didn't want to tag Roman in.
Yeah.
Like, nah, stuff you, man. Like I'm the man now, kind of thing.
I did like that.
Yeah,
so it kind of everything that they're sort of building up to, that Jay's sort of saying we're equals now. You're not in charge. So Roman then holds his hand out like, Jay, you're meant to tag me.
Yep.
And Jay didn't do it. I thought was absolutely great because it just shows that Jay's definitely trying to keep him on the even playing field. And then afterwards, with all the stuff with Sammy and all that huge storyline that's eventually going to evolve, I'm so excited about. And as per usual, I'm excited about the road that WWE are going to take us down on that storyline.
It looks like 4v4 Survivor Series War Games at this stage anyway.
Yes.
Unless they do evolve into a 5v5, but at this stage it looks like Sammy potentially will come back to the OG bloodline. I'm with you. I enjoyed Sammy coming out. I thought the ending of the match was just super quick. It just kind of happened out of nowhere, and we're all, us and the crowd were like, "Oh, it's over." He just Samoan spiked him 3 times, and we're done.
To the extent where the crowd was just quiet.
Everyone was just like,
we even commented on that, and hang on a second, there's no reaction to that whatsoever. Anybody didn't know what to think about it.
It was bizarre. It was a bit of a bizarre sort of ending to the match, but I'm with you. I'm excited to see where it goes, and I think that War Games from this side of things is going to be unreal.
Yeah.
Bloodline War Games is going to be sick.
Yes.
I can't wait.
So,
and if Sammy's back in the original Bloodline, we've got some elite TV coming up in the next month and a half.
I think everything with Roman and the Usos and Sammy were just layers upon layers upon layers of storylines that they've just got so many options in which directions they want to go in.
Yeah.
It's just such good entertainment.
Yeah.
WWE entertainment is just
cinema.
At its finest.
It's pure cinema
stuff. Yeah.
I love it.
Cinema at its finest, for sure.
So we're going to move on to the tag team fatal 4-way. Cargill and Belair defending against Sane and Io Sky, and then what's the NXT tag team called?
So the
Metaphor.
Metaphor. The new girls that have come up from NXT only within the last maybe month and a half, 2 months.
They were impressive. I thought they showed out really well.
Yeah.
And also Chelsea Green and Piper Niven were there as well. They should have won. They were robbed. Yeah. Thoughts on the match? What was your rating?
I'm going to say, surprisingly, it was a good solid 7 to
I
8.
agree. I thought the match went really well.
Really well, actually. Yeah. So I thought it was quite a good match. There was a lot of bumps that a few people took, which seemed a bit nasty, but then got pulled off quite smoothly and cleanly, which is what wrestling is all about. And at the same time, there was little snippets of greatness, I'm going to call it that, from the young girls that have just come up from NXT that are really proving themselves.
It was Jakara Jackson and Jade Cargill. I like their face-off.
Lash Legend.
Lash
Legend and Jade were facing off at one stage.
Cool.
Now, Lash Legend, surprisily enough, you didn't really realise it, but is a little bit bigger than Jade.
Taller, yeah.
Yeah, and Jade is quite a, she's a put-together lady.
She is jacked.
When she came into the Royal Rumble for the first time, I remember everyone got, whoa, she's quite a big lady. she's going to come in and cause a bit of havoc.
Yep.
Well, now you got someone that's standing up that's just the
Even
exact
bigger.
same size.
Yeah.
This could be potential WrestleMania. To me, I believe, and I've said it before, that Lash Legend is only going to be a superstar in the making. I'm really looking forward to more that she's going to do later on.
Yep.
Can't take anything away from any other tag team that was in that match at the time.
I thought Chelsea Green was great again. She's such a good bump and feeder. She's just one of the. I love her, dude. She's great. She's just so like flary, and she's just funny as, and she cops a beating. And she takes it really well.
And over the years, I know that they have done this, that if you take enough beatings, you'll eventually get the push that you do deserve. Yeah. And I will agree that that name that you say like that,
Chelsea Green, yeah,
will eventually get her push. And whenever she does, whenever she does, she deserves it. 100%.
She did win the tag titles at one stage anyway, so she has had a tag title run. She deserves another one. Give it to her.
Cool.
I agree with you, though. I would have given it about a 7 as well. I thought that match was way better than I thought it was going to be.
It exceeded my expectations, 100%.
It was unreal.
Good on them.
And props to the girls. They made it work. It was a fun, entertaining match to watch.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins versus the big fella from South Australia, Big Bronson Reed. I'm going to kick it off for this one. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was unreal. I thought the spots they did was really good. I thought Seth looked like a underdog fighting from underneath, and Bronson Reed looked like an animal at the end with blood trickling down his face going, I'm not done with you yet, come in here. I thought it was great. So they both came out looking good. Bronson still looks like a monster, even though he had his head stomped into those steps and had a super stomp. Still at the end got up, stood up and said, come on, keep coming.
Keep going more.
Loved it. What'd you think?
Well, being the South Australian lad that he is, we've got to get
biased.
behind.
We're biased.
We are. We definitely are. But I think anybody that goes up against Seth Rollins is always going to look 100%. Because Seth Rollins is just the top of the tops. He's the top of the game that you can go against him and you're going to look $1 million. Yeah. But Bronson didn't need the help of Seth Rollins to look $1 million because he's already there.
Yeah.
So he's already proven himself that he is a superstar now that can be a main eventer. The match kicked off even before they got into the ring.
Yeah, true.
With Seth running down the ramp and then jumping Bronson. So from the word go, the match was just an absolute banger from start to finish. Well, even before the start, it was just, oh, go, go, go. And I agree with you. Like, Bronson just looked like a monster in the end. And then even getting his head stomped into the steel steps, he made it work.
Rating?
9.
Yeah.
9. 8.5, 9.
Love it.
I'm going to say that most 9, yeah.
Randy and KO was a no contest. They did the same hot start like Seth and Bronson Reed started. Randy posing up on the ropes. KO comes in with a chair, hits him. Match is over. Ref gets stunned. Adam Pearce copped an RKO.
Yes.
That's going to be interesting to find out how that works out.
Don't forget that the referee copped a stunner.
Big barrel roll out of it.
It was just
unbelievable.
awesome.
I loved it.
It was great.
Unbelievable.
Give him a contract.
Absolutely.
He sold it so good.
And then the big elbow drop on the outside in the crowd.
Yeah.
Through a couple of tables. No match, so there's no rating, but I loved it. I think it's going to feed really well, and then they're just going to link up with Cody, and there's going to be a triple threat there somewhere.
Threat. I do
and I'm
agree
all
with
about
that.
it.
Yeah, I do agree with you there, Sharpy. I think that's definitely going to be a triple threat later on down the line.
Because now Randy's going to be like, I copped all that shit because of you.
Yes.
I want a shot at you now because I'm dealing with this guy on this side, and he's gunning for your head too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be.
It's going to be more.
It's going to weave perfectly.
The spots that they were pulling off as well were safe, yet also looked very violent.
Yeah.
And KO just jumping off the rail at the very, very end. KO's just an absolute maniac.
He is.
He just
loves
puts his
that
body
shit.
on the line.
He
does.
It. Yeah.
He loves it. So yeah, I don't know if I want to give the match a ranking because it wasn't a match.
Yeah.
Because I just want to keep feeding into this storyline more and more and more and more. So we're just going to say that was just awesome.
Just loved it.
Watching that. Two absolute world star, top of the game professionals doing what professionals do and just stringing us along on every second.
Progressing that story even further.
And even in what they're doing every second, you gobble it up more and more and wanting more, leaving you wanting more. Professionals at the top of their game.
We're eating very well. United States Championship triple threat match. LA Knight ended up getting the win with a double blunt force trauma. I thought it was, again, a banger match between the three of them.
Banger.
Andrade and Carmelo Hayes do not have bad matches, let alone with each other. They have bangers.
Yes.
What's your rating?
I'm going to definitely say that was a good 8.5 to 9 as well. There could have been one or two things in there that could have been polished a little bit because there were a few spots
The one slip from
the one
LA
yeah
Knight
the
on
one
top rope.
slip from LA Knight and at the after show he even said he's going to practice on that, get that better and better and better.
He hated that he stuffed it up.
He hated that he stuffed it up. But 3, once again, guys doing the best of their game, making it look absolutely insane. And the last bit,
spin out Huckarunner thing into the double where he grabs both of their heads and drags them.
both of them same down.
Creative.
Carmelo, how he's just selling it. Selling it.
Well.
He spikes himself so well. For such a young fella, he's got such a bright future. So looking forward to it. Then I'm going to ask another question. With the Carmelo Hayes and Andrade feud, do we think we want that more, or do we think that's it?
That's done.
I believe it's done as well.
8 matches in the last 2 months.
I believe it's done as well.
Enough.
I really want to see Carmelo Hayes go against maybe someone a little bit younger and a little bit fresher. So then we know that let's show off that athleticism a little bit more that they got. And Andrade, I'm going to say let's throw him into the tag team division.
Well, you could imagine if you put the two of them together.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
That's
They
another
could do
thing
that.
right there.
Sometimes the best tag teams are when you put two people that are the perfect polar opposites.
Yeah.
Put them together and they make a great tag team.
Absolutely love that.
They could do something like that.
Love that, Sharpy. And what's next for LA Knight? That man can do whatever he wants to do. Yeah.
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 Women's title match for the Crown Jewel Championship. Liv got up.
She did.
Tiffy tried to cash in twice. Didn't get even close.
No.
What'd you think of the match? I thought it was okay. I'd probably give it about a 6.5.
Yeah.
I was just happy for Liv.
Yes, unbelievably. 6.5, 7, almost sort of pushing 7.
Yeah, pushing
just
7.
because of the interferences from Dom and Rodriguez and all those types of things. You knew it was going to be predictable, but you didn't really know when it was going to happen. But when it did get pulled off, it was great. Everything pulled in. You every single time that you see your dirty Dom, he just plays his character so well.
Love him.
Get out of there, you greasy man.
Yeah.
But then he plays it so well.
Yeah, he does.
Liv did the best that she could possibly do against an opponent, which was, I'm going to say, nearly 3 times her size.
Yeah.
Nia, I'm not a massive fan of Nia just because at times she can be a little bit.
I thought she was good in this match, though. I thought she went quite well. No, obvious, mistakes or anything like that. I thought Nia was quite good. She's actually had a pretty good run the last 6 months.
She has had a good run, I'll give you that. But still, for some of her matches, I think she can still be a little bit stiff in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
So she doesn't sort of work heaps well with the smaller women.
Yeah, she needs bigger opponents.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was a good match.
I'd probably give it, yeah. What was your rating? About a 7, roughly?
Yes, 7. I'd say 7.
And then the main event was champion versus champion, Cody versus Gunther, 1-on-1, no interference whatsoever. Bit of speculation, maybe Goldberg would pop up, but that is obviously not happening whatsoever.
Bit of speculation that KO or Randy was going to come back into the picture, but never happened as well.
Because of the table spot, they were both out of it. So, thought the match was really good. The crowd sort of perked up, got a second win halfway through.
I think we need to say that the crowd really perks up in this match. At one stage, they were doing the old Mexican wave.
Yeah, it was
and
cool.
even Gunther got into that as well and did it. These guys really perked up. At some spots in the actual whole event, you're like, maybe the crowd's not that good. At this spot, then you could definitely tell that the whole crowd... to see Cody and to see Gunther put together the main event, everybody really started getting around it then. We can't take that away from the crowd. We'll quickly touch on that they definitely showed up and Saudi loved their WWE.
Best Saudi crowd I've seen so far.
For sure. But the match itself, Sharpy.
Match, I give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was good. Some slow spots. They had about half an hour.
Yeah.
But they're not going to have a bad match, these two. Just a simple, straightforward, one-on-one match. Nothing too crazy. I thought the finish was creative. I liked the excuse that, the roll up, the pin, sort of, I had him, and then he got a lucky one on me. And that's when you have big, bad champions like Gunther, or even like going back to Goldberg beating Lesnar in 20 seconds. Sometimes you just can get beat, bit of luck, Even in, like UFC, you can get knocked out in the first 10 seconds. Just sometimes some lucky stuff happens, and Gunther can claim, oh, he got lucky, he beat me, he won't beat me next time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what do you think? What do
For
you rate
myself, I'm going to rate the actual match itself at 6. It's a little bit lower than yours.
Okay.
Just because towards the middle there, it did start to get a lot more technical mat wrestling, which is okay for a little while, but then once it starts to slow down, that's when the crowd, I believe, started doing their own thing.
I wondered, did they do that because the crowd was kind of entertaining themselves?
Oh,
and
okay.
they didn't want to take away from the crowd.
Yeah, so let's slow it down because
Let them have their fun.
there was a lot of talking between themselves throughout the whole match. You can see when they've tied up in an armbar, they've got their heads down like the pros do. They're going, hey, mate, let's just keep the next spot a little bit slower and let the crowd do their thing. So I understand where you're coming from there. But to me, it just slowed down a little bit too much. There wasn't any big spots. There wasn't any big pops. So to me, I was just like, sometimes during the match, it lost my attention.
Yeah, fair
The
enough.
end of the match, I thought was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it was good.
Because not only was it the more craftsman got the win over the end, but that sets it up for so much more. Now, at the very, very end, Gunther goes over to Cody, holds out his hand. He was the one that extended his hand first. Gunther shakes his hand, gets in his face, says one or two things, and then throws his hands away, which sets it up for so much more later on down the track in many years to come. When the storyline becomes more, Gunther can say, you got a lucky one on me. I told you I'd be back. That's what I said when I got in your face. Cody just stands there and smiles and goes, whatever, mate. I've got this big championship about to be around my waist. You get out of here.
All right, to end it, I'm going to make a big call here. The next time those two wrestle, Cody will be the bad guy and Gunther will be the good guy.
Wow,
That's my
Sharpy.
big shout. That's like 2 or 3 years away.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
Cody turning heel. I never even thought about
He's
that.
such a good bad guy.
Wow.
He's nasty.
Okay.
He's got that name. If you look at his stuff that he did on the Indies, he's a nasty piece.
He's a nasty pasty.
Yeah.
All right. I think we should just leave it right there,
All right,
guys.
thanks for watching. We've already gone 5 minutes over. Love your work, guys. We will see you in the next one. We've got podcasts coming out every Friday on Wrestlechats here on YouTube. We will see you guys there. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Peace.